Lisa Wilkinson has responded to actor Richard Dreyfuss' lengthy and emotional statement that slammed the interview he did with her on the project on Sunday night. The TV co-host tweeted her team's side of the story, and claimed 70-year-old Dreyfuss, the star of films such as Jaws and Close Encounters of the Third Kind, was aware that they would be discussing the Me Too movement on the live panel, which also featured actor Kathleen Turner. We wrote to Mr. Dreyfuss' publicist 3 days prior to our Sunday at TheProject informing we would ask about Me Too allegations against him and his statement, Wilkinson wrote. If he didn't want to discuss it, we were happy to have Kathleen Turner alone. We were assured in writing he was okay with it. This morning, Dreyfuss appeared on Today Extra in a live cross from Perth, where he is appearing at the Supernova Pop Culture Festival, and read-along statement to hosts Sonia Kruger and David Campbell about his disappointment with the way his interview on the project was conducted. It was in this statement that he said he had been reassured the interview would be light and friendly, and that he hadn't been made aware the conversation would turn to sexual harassment in Hollywood. He likened the interview to being mugged and accused the project of choosing to commit a breach of ethical behavior. Richard Dreyfuss and Lisa Wilkinson on the project, Network 10. The reason Wilkinson raised the topic was because in November 2017, a writer named Jessica Teach said in an interview to Vulture that Dreyfuss had harassed me for months, including once exposing himself to her, in the mid-1980s, when she worked as a researcher and junior writer on a TV project with the actor. Wilkinson asked Dreyfuss about a statement he had issued previously about how he had flirted with all women, be they actresses, producers or 80-year-old grandmothers. I even flirted with those who were out of bounds, like the wives of some of my best friends, which especially revolts me. She asked him if he had felt revolted at the time, or only because of the Me Too movement. On the project, Dreyfuss said, "It revolted me immediately and that's what I stopped. Between the years like 79 to 82, 83, I was a low-down dirty dog, and I did lots of things that I'm ashamed of now. But they were all culturally supported, as all men know, as all women know, they just don't want to remember it that way." DATA-REACTROOT equals data react DATA-REACT-CHECKSUM equals 511,986,914 data react react MT 4 react MT 5 react MT 6. Here is the full statement Dreyfuss said on Today Extra this morning. I didn't make statements about either of those things, statements were made about me. And that's why I'd like to clarify them, if you don't mind. I was mugged the other night in Sydney, Australia, not by a petty thief, but by the host and hostesses of a talk show called The Project. Kathleen Turner and I had been invited on the show to have a light, friendly chat about the Autograph show that we were participating in Sydney and in Perth, as that invitation to a specifically light and friendly chat was being repeated to us by 2 or 3 of the show's staff. Questions were prepared and entered into the teleprompters that could be referred to by Lisa Wilkinson and Hamish MacDonald, 2 of the hosts. Light and friendly didn't survive until the end of the first sentence. It was directed as a question to Kathleen, something about, has Hollywood changed in the last year in its treatment of men towards women? The second question was directed at me by Lisa. And just to put this in context, I had been accused of sexual misconduct last November the 7th. I was asked to remember something that had happened 30 years previously. It was apparently a flirtation that I was involved in, and did not know was not consensual. And her question to me was, Richard, did you express your shame because you had worked at realizing that you had done something shameful, or because you had been accused and caught out? Richard Dreyfuss in 2017, Getty. So, why they had made such a point of repeating that we were doing to have a light and friendly chat, while keeping the real questions so secret, I have no idea. They never asked me to have the chat they wanted to have. I think I might have said yes, had they asked it in the proper tone of voice. Instead, they chose to commit a breach of ethical behavior, meant to be malignant and sly, and known as wrong by every journalist in the world, unless you're talking to someone who you're trying to entrap, because you think that he's a murderer or a rapist. The behavior of those through whom you get your news is the reason I'm here this morning. It is not about my alleged behavior then, now, or ever. You can dismiss what I am saying now as I am being defensive, and the television personalities involved will just continue to confuse what is right and what is wrong behavior. Richard Dreyfuss, Far Right, and Jaws, Universal Pictures. I assure you that in my country there is an enormous decay going on, an assault and drowning of this kind of trickery is going on every day. And I would ask, why would you want to emulate America at its worst? You should try to emulate America at its very famous best. And I would also say that the reason that television hosts and hostesses don't ask the right question is because of the same reason ours don't. It's that they have a contempt for their viewers and their guests. Your viewers should watch out for that, because that's where you're getting your information. If America does no longer respect a Bill of Rights, you should. And don't go down with the sinking ship. That's it.